Update. Am I the a-hole for leaving my fiancé after I learned there were strippers at her bachelorette party? Original post. What the title reads basically, I, 29 male, and my ex-fiancé, 29 female, were together for 5 years. We should have been married now in the normal conditions, but I broke up with her and canceled the wedding 2 days before it because they invited male strippers to bachelorette party. I am personally not a fan of these parties, but reluctantly agreed after both groom and bride side confirmed we would keep it simple. I told my ex-fiancé I am not comfortable with strippers or other kind of crazy things. She agreed. I also told my friends if they were to do a stupid thing without me knowing, we would have problems. We stayed at my friend's summer house and chilled there by the pool, did some World of Warcraft raids and played board games. My ex-fiancé and her friends went to a restaurant, then rented an Airbnb. There was no problem during the night. The next day, I asked how things went. She and her close friend said it was really chill and good. We returned to the city center after that. I encountered another bridesmaid that day when I was shopping for a bracelet for my ex-fiancé for her upcoming birthday. I asked that girl how's everything, as we were in the same department at a college but rarely talk now. She's closer with my fiancé than me. She said it's going good, and last night was crazy with all the strippers. After saying that, she looked uncomfortable. I asked her about the details, but she was not willing to tell much. I think she realized she should not have talked about it. I laughed, said goodbye and left. I confronted my fiancé and she seemed surprised about it. She was denying it first, then told me nothing crazy happened and one of the bridesmaids invited strippers. I reminded her that it was a strict boundary for me. I asked about the details, but she said there was nothing much with strippers, just solo dances and that's it. I told her I need some time to think. Almost all of the bridesmaids messaged me ensuring nothing happened when I was on my way back home, which is definitely not coordinated. Things happened after that, but in the end I decided to break up and cancel the wedding. I lost some money since it was only 2 days before the wedding. Things are not cool right now. My head is messed up, I get criticism from everyone, and no idea about what to do. My sister told me to see a therapist to process my thoughts and feelings. That is what I'll do next. Some mutual suggested me that I should reconsider things and stop being so whiny about such a small thing. I do not think it's such a small thing, especially when they all try to hide it from me. Am I the a-hole here? Now for the top comments before reading the update. Not the a-hole. It was crazy with all the strippers is hugely different from it was really chill and good. This isn't just lying, this is a total reversal of the truth. Even her it was just solo dances is not the same as crazy. So they are lying. All of them, except the first one. And there is a wild double standard too. The fact that a bunch of mutuals contacted him and said to stop being whiny over nothing is telling. If roles were reversed, the mutuals would be offering to help the bride to be burned down the groom's house. Roles reversed? Bro, even my friends would burn me to a crisp for cheating on my girlfriend. It's not something anyone's friend should endorse or support. Both men and women can cover for their friends' infidelity. From my experience, the difference is men will lie by omission and just never bring it up. Women will actively lie and create cover for the cheater. A man's lie is that he was at Tony's house. A woman's lie is, it's your baby. Chris Rock. This is strangely similar to something that happened recently on 90 Day Fiancé. Because this happens a lot. Some people think that cheating in a bachelorette party is okay. It's so dumb. Oh yeah, a buddy of mine had a job programming POS system and most of it was in restaurants and hospitality. Traveled to many bachelor/bachelorette destinations and this topic came up a bunch. Pretty much all the bartenders/waitstaff said that it's more often the bachelorette parties that are wilder and have a significantly higher rate of infidelity than male bachelorette parties. They said many of them just flat out come knowing they're going to cheat on their soon-to-be husband and that some of the other girls cheating on their partners. It's rarely a, we drank too much and got caught up in the moment. In college, I along with my roommate worked out at a gym full of steroid dudes in the late 80s. Got to know a couple of guys. They were also strippers and asked if we could set props for them when they danced. Both the male and female dancers. 100% of the bachelorette parties had at least one person to hook up with the dudes. The bachelor parties were tame in comparison, mainly due I think because the female dancers didn't go along with that for the most part. At least 2 of those dudes took penicillin daily, 80s, because they kept catching STDs. Yuck. Update. I read most of the comments in the original post and thank you for the advice. My problem was not her being blindsided by her friends, but lying. Every bridesmaid told different things, and none of them gave details about what happened. I believe you can understand it just shatters the trust and makes you think there is something going on. I thought there was something wrong with me after reading the comments. There were a lot of YTAs, and I thought I should apologize. One of the bridesmaids reached out to me last evening. I suspect she saw the post somewhere and recognized it. I knew my fiancé was having problems with her friends since last week, but I did not know the extent. Apparently, my ex-fiancé and her close friends blamed the girl that I encountered at the mall about everything. This divided the group and led into a verbal fight. I will skip the personal details here, but in the end, she told me my ex-fiancé and other bridesmaids got sexual with the strippers. My fiancé was the only one who had boyfriend/fiancé/spouse there, at least monogamously, to my knowledge. Also, I was told by her that my ex-fiancé was not blindsided with stripper invites. She was happy to see the strippers and was relieved she had an excuse. I do not have proof for all of these, but I got a short video of girls making out with strippers. One of the girls is my ex-fiancé, and that's enough. She has been trying to reach out to me since we broke up. I confronted her again. At first, she denied it again. Then it became we just touched. Then okay, we kissed too. Okay, I gave him a hand job. Finally, I was coerced into doing these by others as I pressed on. I just blocked her after the last part. I did not see any need to learn further. I was hurt already, but learning that I got cheated on hurt more. I am not sure if it is the full truth even now. I will never know, but all I can say is it hurts. I will go to a therapist to not carry my luggage to my next relationship. I lost 15K from the wedding-related things. I need to focus on filling the hole for a while. Some of the people told me I am an insecure and funny nerd for playing World of Warcraft on my bachelor party. Isn't the whole point of bachelor parties having one last fun? It was raiding non-stop with the boys for me, not having one last actual interaction with a stranger, or having a stranger's butt on my face or penis. I will not miss out on these during marriage anyways, omitting the stranger part. That's it. It's therapy time tomorrow, and thank you for the help. I will never understand why people like your ex-fiancé throw it all away for one night. Because they do not want to be married. They want to have that special day and be the center of attention. They want the wedding, but not the marriage. She belongs to the streets. I have a cousin that did this. She explained to me she really never believed the other guy wouldn't leave her because she loved her way too much. She really thought true love in the fairy tale land will conquer all. Delusional. She still thinks he is wrong and should come back to her and marry. She cheated on him, and she expected him to be the one to beg on his knees? Yep, he loved her for a decade prior, and she said that she thought he would forgive her for anything, because she would forgive him for anything. Even now in her My Disneyland, she says love should overcome all. I almost envy her to be 34 and still have that thought process. But multiple women in my family agreed with her, that if he truly unconditionally loved her, he would have worked through it. I got a short video of girls making out with strippers. One of the girls is my ex-fiancé, and that's enough. I've been to a dozen bachelorette parties, and not one has turned out like this, which makes me truly grateful for the quality of the people in my life. I was at a bar with coworkers and some of their spouses and partners. A bride-to-be was calling one of my woman coworkers lame and a loser. The reason? The bride wanted to kiss my coworker's husband during her last night of freedom. Her husband said no. The bride-to-be pleaded with my coworker to change her husband's mind. A portion of the bachelorette party bag too. Like you, I remain glad none of the people in my life are like this. I hate this last night of freedom BS. You're getting married, not going to prison. And if you think getting married has cost you something you hadn't already chosen to forfeit by being in a monogamous relationship for however long, then you shouldn't be married, or possibly in monogamous relationships. Next story. Am I the a-hole for moving on so quickly after my husband left me? My 47 female husband 47 male asked for a separation on our 14th anniversary while we were away in a foreign country to celebrate. While we weren't as close as we used to be, we almost never fought and generally enjoyed each other's company and families. We did not have any children. The night before our anniversary, he brought up he wasn't very happy in the relationship but didn't know why. The next morning, I asked to see his phone and he said no. He said I would find flirty messages with one or more other women on it. He had made some female friends through school and work, and he said he felt like there might be someone out there who was better fit for him. I said I did not want to do a trial separation, as I don't believe you can work on something if you aren't living together. If he wanted to separate, it would be final. He understood, but said it was something he had to do. After being away for only 2 days, we rebooked our flights home, flew home, and he packed some belongings and left. 7 days later, he asked to come home, and we started marriage counseling. He had a lot of trouble admitting he had at least one emotional affair. The counseling was not helpful. He was defensive and not open to it. I suspect something physical happened with the other woman, but I do not have any proof. He had deleted all his flirty texts, Snapchat, etc., so I could not see them. After 4 weeks of living together again and attending counseling sessions, he decided he no longer wanted to try to save the marriage, and he was leaving. He packed up and left a few hours later. He stayed with a friend, found a new apartment, and signed a 1-year lease. I was devastated, and even had to take time off work to process what had happened and attend individual counseling. But after the 4 weeks, I started to feel a bit better. I went out for drinks with a group of 4 coworkers that live in my area and found I really enjoyed one of them, 42 male, a lot. I'd only met him over Zoom before this. We started seeing each other a couple times a week. Quite quickly, it grew into a truly amazing, loving relationship. I've stayed in counseling throughout, as it wasn't easy to process the sudden ending of my long-term marriage at the same time as beginning something new. It's been about 7 months now. My ex-husband eventually decided he wanted to try to save the marriage again, but I declined. He says I'm the a-hole for starting a new relationship so quickly, within 6 weeks of him leaving. Our relationship was over as I can no longer trust him, and he has hurt me immensely. I do not want a relationship with someone I cannot trust. Am I the a-hole for moving on? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. He left you twice. I guess you were supposed to just sit around wallowing in tears while he went off doing whatever and whoever until he was ready to come back to you. I love this for her. I'm so glad she was able to show him that she wasn't pining away. I love even more that that wasn't OP's intent even. OP was just living her life and found somebody who appreciates her. Message to the OP here. How is that even a question? He ruins your anniversary trip, is very likely to have cheated and dated other people after the marriage ended. He wanted to end the marriage. Then out of nowhere, he says he wants to save the marriage after he destroyed it? Then says you're an a-hole for dating someone when you were single. I refuse to answer this question. He's the sour on the a-holes. Don't forget, on what was supposed to be a romantic trip, he literally said he thinks there is someone better out there for him. Like, I'm not even OP, and it hurts to see those words. So imagine hearing that from your spouse of 14 years. He wanted to break OP, make her beg, make her realize she can't do any better, so he can step out of marriage whenever he wants while she stays put, waiting for him to come home. He didn't realize that there are better men out there who value women and truly love them. X wanted a safe net, but now he realized that he just gotta be single and miserable for the rest of his life, that he did a favor to OP by leaving, so she can find a better man for her. Let him go out and play houses with whoever women, and divorce his butt ASAP. Not a-hole. He literally said he felt there'd be a better woman for him somewhere. He's cheated on you probably multiple times, so he doesn't have the right to be mad at you for moving on when he couldn't even stay faithful to you. He can't try to get rid of you and want you again. Not a-hole. He wanted out, and you let him out. He has no claim on you. He may have realized that he messed up, but that is not something that you need to help him recover from. He gets to sleep in the bed that he chose to make for himself. I wouldn't respond at all to him unless you want to respond with laughing emojis. Last story. Am I the a-hole for not forgiving my mom and my sister's wedding? So for some background, my mom left me 24 male and my twin sister 24 female when we were 6, and it screwed with us for a long time. We used to have to get therapy sessions because the way she left was so jarring for the both of us. 16 years later, sometime after our 22nd birthday, she reached out, saying she wanted to make up for lost time and that she was sorry. I wasn't up with that idea, but my sister was. My sister decided to go ahead and give her a second chance, and I never gave her grief on that. But she always hassled me, saying I should hear her out and that she's our mother. And to that, I humbly declined. I told my sister that our mother doesn't get to decide when she wants to be in or out of our lives, and that she doesn't get to clear her conscience with me because my time is worth way more. My sister respected that for the most part. Flash forward to now on my sister's wedding. She told me before that our mom was gonna be a part of the wedding, and I didn't make a big deal because it was her wedding. And if she wants that woman to be there, then who am I to say no? I just told her me and her would most definitely wouldn't be communicating at the event, and she was okay with that because she knows that that's my way of keeping the peace. At the rehearsal dinner, everyone showed up and had a good time, but my mom kept trying to engage in conversation. I ignored her and tried to keep away from her. My mother then decides to corner me with this victim spiel, saying that she wasn't ready to be a mom at a time and that she just wants a relationship with me, and how she didn't understand why I didn't want to talk to her. Now, mind you, I always said I understand that she wasn't ready to be a mom. But that doesn't mean I have to be okay with being abandoned, nor do I owe her that luxury of being forgiven. I told her to leave me alone and respect that I don't want to get to know her or be in her life. She started crying and making a whole scene, and said she couldn't come to the wedding anymore. My sister is saying I ruined her chance to have her mom at her wedding, and that I couldn't put my petty pride aside for her. All I can tell her is that her mom made a decision not to show up for her. That has nothing to do with me. The wedding isn't about me. So am I the a-hole here? She's still choosing herself over you and or your sister. If she really cared about you and your feelings and your sister's, she would have allowed you the space to come to her on your own, and she would have attended the wedding. But she had to show her true colors, that it's always been about what she wants. I'm sorry for that. I hope you had a good childhood despite her. Hugs to you, not the a-hole. This times 100. Your mom is being selfish and entitled, and she's hurting her daughter again. I'd like to tell your sister that she tried to build a relationship, but she did all the work. It was not fair, and I hope that one day her mom recognizes what she did. I doubt it because it's more comfortable to be the victim than to take responsibility. She's just as selfish now as she was when she left. She's learned nothing. Absolutely not the a-hole. Your mother has some nerve. And you are right. She has yet again abandoned your sister. You did nothing wrong and don't owe that woman anything. I'm sorry for your sister, but she's mad at the wrong person. Mini update. I appreciate all the comments. My sister didn't uninvite me because she knows that I love her regardless of any situation, and I'll show up anyway. But she has expressed she was really hurt by our mother opting out. I had to sit her down and tell her to talk to that woman because it makes no sense for her to not come just because I don't want to talk to her. My sister is calm now, but I'll keep everyone updated.